Senator Orji Uzor Kalu declares Governor Alex Otti a one-term governor, vows APC will reclaim Abia in 2027. Hello my beautiful people and welcome back to Gist Angle, your hub for hot gist and verified news updates. Political tensions in Abia State are rising sharply as Senator Orji Uzor Kalu, former governor of the state and current senator representing Abia North, publicly declared that incumbent Governor Alex Otti will not secure a second term in office. Kalu described Otti as a one-term governor who knows nothing about politics and urged him to go back to banking, asserting that the All Progressive Congress (APC) is prepared to take power away from the ruling Labour Party in the 2027 gubernatorial election. At a gathering of supporters, Kalu also said his political camp will campaign vigorously across the state to ensure the APC's victory, tapping into party structures, grassroots outreach to challenge Otti's re-election bid. He reaffirmed his confidence in APC's ability to reclaim the state and pledged door-to-door mobilization ahead of the polls. Now, my people, let us analyze this together. When Senator Orji Uzor Kalu described Governor Alex Otti as not a politician and dismissed him as a one-term governor who should return to banking, the statement immediately sparked debate across Abia and beyond. But beyond the political noise, one important question must be asked. What truly defines a politician? Political pedigree or performance? Because if we are being honest, the people of Abia did not vote for Alex Otti because he was a career politician. No, they voted him because they wanted something different. And so far, there is little or no evidence that the people regret that decision. Yes, Alex Otti is a banker by profession. That fact is not in dispute. But in modern governance, being a politician has never been a prerequisite for effective leadership. What citizens demand today is competence, accountability, and visible results, not just political gymnastics. Since assuming office, Otti's administration has focused heavily on infrastructural renewal, clearing salary and pension backlogs, road rehabilitation, fiscal discipline, and transparency. For many Abians, these are not abstract promises, they are tangible realities. In fact, a growing number of residents openly argue that Otti has achieved in a short time what three previous administrations failed to deliver over many years. That comparison did not come from opposition figures or analysts, it came from the people themselves. So when critics say he is not a politician, many supporters hear something else entirely. He is not part of the old system, and for a population that felt neglected for decades, that is not an insult, it is a compliment. Politics, after all, is supposed to be a means to governance, not the other way round. Another critical point overlooked in this debate is public reaction. Since Otti was elected, there has been no widespread protest demanding his removal, no mass regret narrative from voters, no overwhelming public rejection of his leadership style. On the contrary, his approval appears strongest among ordinary citizens, not political elites. Markets, transport unions, civil servants, and community leaders have repeatedly voiced support for the administration's direction. In Nigerian politics, where dissatisfaction usually shows up quickly, silence can be very telling, and in this case, it speaks of contentment, not disappointment. If leadership is ultimately about serving the people, then the people's response must matter more than elite political opinions. If we may ask, why the rush to label Alex Otti a one-term governor? Why not let the people decide in 2027? Nigeria is a democracy. Power does not belong to political godfathers, former office holders, or party elders. It belongs to the people. If Governor Otti has truly failed, then 2027 will reflect that. If he has succeeded, the ballot box will say so. Trying to predetermine the outcome 2 years ahead raises concerns about political entitlement, as if leadership is something to be rotated among familiar faces rather than earned through service. So let the people of Abia be the one to assess his performance. Let them be the one to compare it with past administrations. Let them be the one to decide freely without intimidation or political propaganda. That is how democracy works. Now let us look at the angle of performance versus politics. Ironically, The very criticism that Otti is not a politician may be the reason he enjoys strong grassroots support. Many Nigerians today are tired of endless political calculations, empty rallies, power struggles with no development, empty promises. They want results. And if a banker can deliver roads, pay salaries, stabilize finances, and restore confidence in governance, then perhaps the real problem is not that he is not a politician, but that politics has failed too many people in the past. We should not also forget that governance is about institutions, not political showmanship. One major difference between Alex Otti and many past governors is his emphasis on institutions over personalities. Rather than ruling through political patronage or constant media drama, his administration has focused on rebuilding systems, revenue collection, public finance management, and accountability structures. This approach may appear boring to traditional politicians who thrive on rallies and negotiations, but it is often exactly what states need to achieve long-term stability. States don't collapse because leaders lack political skills. They collapse because institutions are weak. If governance is reduced to theatrics and power plays, development suffers. Otis style suggests a shift from politics as entertainment to governance as responsibility, and that shift naturally unsettles those who benefited from the old system. So, at the end of the day, my people, democracy is not about who shouts the loudest or who has ruled before. It is about choice. If Alex Otti is truly unpopular, 2027 will expose that. If the people believe he deserves another term, no amount of political declaration can stop them. So instead of dismissing voters' intelligence or attempting to write the future in advance, the fair thing is simple. Let the people decide, because the final verdict does not belong to politicians, but the people. At the end of the day, my people, politics is not about titles or predictions. It is about people, performance, and choice. As Abia State looks towards 2027, these are the questions that truly matter. If performance is truly what matters in leadership, should Abia return to old political faces or reward visible results? Is calling Alex Otti a one-term governor a political prediction or an attempt to influence the people's choice before they even vote? When did being a career politician become more important than delivering good governance? If a technocrat can succeed where seasoned politicians failed, what does that say about Nigeria's political culture? Come 2027, will Ambians vote based on noise or based on evidence and experience? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like this video, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss our next update.
It's just Angle.